The legend of Atlantis has captivated imaginations for centuries, blending the lines between history and myth. First introduced by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis is described as a powerful and advanced civilization that existed around 9,000 years before his time. According to his accounts in the dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Atlantis was a utopian island kingdom that eventually fell out of favor with the gods and submerged into the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune. Plato's depiction of Atlantis comes from his dialogues written around 360 BCE. He presents the story through the character Critias, who recounts a tale passed down from his ancestor, Solon, the Athenian lawmaker. According to Critias, Solon learned of Atlantis during his travels to Egypt, where priests in the city of Sais informed him of the ancient civilization's rise and catastrophic fall. Atlantis was described as a large island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. It was a technologically advanced society with a powerful navy, beautiful architecture, and a complex social structure. The Atlanteans supposedly conquered many parts of Western Europe and Africa. However, their moral decline led to their downfall, incurring the wrath of the gods, who sank the island into the sea as divine punishment. According to Critias, the ancient Greek gods divided the land among themselves, with Poseidon receiving the island of Atlantis. This island was larger than ancient Libya and Asia Minor combined. However, it was later submerged by an earthquake and became an impassable mud shoal, hindering ocean travel. Plato recounted that the Egyptians described Atlantis as an island with mountainous regions in the north and along the coast, surrounding a vast, oblong-shaped plain in the south. This plain extended 3,000 stadia, approximately 555 kilometers in one direction, and 2,000 stadia, about 370 kilometers across its center inland. 50 stadia 9 kilometers from the coast was a mountain, encircling a central island that was 5 stades in diameter, about 0.92 kilometer. In Plato's tale, Poseidon fell in love with Cleito, the daughter of Evenor and Leucippe, who bore him 5 pairs of male twins. The eldest, Atlas, was made the rightful king of the entire island and the ocean, which was named the Atlantic Ocean in his honor. He was given the mountain of his birth and the surrounding area as his fiefdom. Atlas's twin, Gadeirus, or Eumelus in Greek, was given the extremity of the island near the Pillars of Hercules. The other 4 pairs of twins, Amphires and Evaemon, Meneceus and Autochthon, Eleusippus and Mestor, and Azias and Diaprepes, were also given rule over many men and large territories. Poseidon transformed the mountain where his love resided into a grand palace, surrounded by 3 circular moats of increasing width, ranging from 1 to 3 stadia, separated by rings of land proportional in size. The Atlanteans built bridges northward from the mountain, connecting it to the rest of the island. They constructed a great canal to the sea and tunnels through the rings of rock, allowing ships to pass into the city around the mountain. Docks were carved from the rock walls of the moats. Every passage to the city was guarded by gates and towers, and each ring of the city was surrounded by walls made of red, white, and black rock, covered with brass, tin, and the precious metal orichalcum. According to Critias, 9,000 years before his time, a war erupted between those outside the Pillars of Hercules at the Strait of Gibraltar and those within. The Atlanteans had conquered parts of Libya within the Pillars of Hercules, extending to Egypt, and parts of Europe up to Tyrrhenia, enslaving the people. The Athenians led an alliance of resistors against the Atlantean Empire. As the alliance fell apart, the Athenians prevailed alone, liberating the occupied lands. Following the Athenians' victory over the Atlantean Empire, Atlantis experienced a cataclysmic downfall. According to Plato's account, the gods grew displeased with the Atlanteans' hubris and moral decay. Poseidon, once their protector, saw that they had become corrupt, vain, and greedy. As a result, the gods decided to punish Atlantis. A series of earthquakes and floods ravaged the island, causing it to sink into the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune. The once great civilization, with its magnificent cities and advanced technologies, was lost beneath the waves, leaving behind only a legend. According to Plato's account, it was Solon, the Athenian statesman and poet whom history says lived 600 years after the Trojan War, the one who brought from Egypt the story of Atlantis. The very old Egyptian priest who talked with Solon was not at all impressed by the ancient stories of the Greeks, such as the one referring to Phoroneus as the first man, or the legend of the flood of Deucalion. For these stories, according to his view, were not at all ancient. This Egyptian priest knew that humankind is periodically destroyed, either by fire or water or by lesser means. And behind the story of Phaethon, the Egyptian said, lies the shifting of the celestial bodies around the earth, which causes destruction by fire on its surface at long intervals. When this happens, Those living in dry areas or dwelling in mountains suffer more destruction than those living near rivers or by the sea. On the other hand, when the world is flooded, those living in mountains are saved, but those populating the cities near the sea are swept into it by the streams. Things being of this nature, those living by the Nile were spared when the world was destroyed by fire, and when it was destroyed by water, they were also spared because rain is scarce in Egypt, the water welling up always from below. In this way, said the Egyptian priest, memories of ancient times could be preserved in this country while all records were destroyed elsewhere. And while in other countries the periodical destruction caused irreparable losses, in Egypt it was possible to keep records of very ancient times. This is the reason why the Greeks could just remember the flood of Deucalion, ignoring that many other floods had previously occurred. And in the same way, they had lost the memory of Athens, which existed 8,000 years before the Trojan War, which is, in our own day, said to have taken place about 1200 BC. According to this Egyptian priest, Atlantis, ruled by a confederation of kings, also held sway over neighboring islands. The Atlanteans had expanded their dominion into Libya, up to Egypt and southwestern Europe, including Tuscany. Despite their ambitions to conquer Egypt and Greece, the Athenians emerged victorious against their formidable army. Atlantis was a thriving civilization with advanced technology, wealth, and military power. However, despite their superior knowledge and resources, they were destroyed by natural disasters. The downfall of Atlantis also had a moral dimension. It was believed that the people of Atlantis had become spiritually corrupt, leading to their ultimate demise. The gods, including Zeus, saw the evil within the Atlantean society and decided to punish them by allowing their civilization to be swallowed by the waters. The concept of Atlantis has been a subject of fascination and exploration for centuries, with various scholars and theorists offering different interpretations and connections to the legendary lost city. While Plato's original account serves as the foundation for the Atlantis myth, modern interpretations have emerged over time, drawing parallels between Atlantis and other ancient civilizations, such as the Maya. The Maya civilization, known for its advanced knowledge in astronomy, mathematics, and architecture, has been linked to Atlantis by some scholars. The complex calendar system and astronomical observations of the Maya are seen as parallels to the technological prowess attributed to the Atlanteans. Some theories even suggest that the Atlanteans settled in the Americas and influenced the development of the Maya civilization.